is Joy News Prime.
The Joy News Prime, and today marks exactly 50 days to the 2016 presidential and parliamentary election. And here at your election headquarters, we promise to bring you the comprehensive coverage of polls we've become known for over the years. Now tonight, two more parties, the Ghana Consolidated People's Party and former First Lady Nana Akufo-Addo of the National Democratic Party, initiate legal action to seek to have their disqualified presidential candidate reinstated to contest the polls this December. Hundreds of customers of the now defunct DKM microfinance disappointed over what they describe as the paltry sums paid out to them by the official liquidator and threatened to go to court to get their due. Now, police had a fiduciary in the Ashanti region to release first suspect held in connection with death this weekend of Kesben TV journalist.
And coming up in business, cedi to come under pressure as government first domestic dollar bond issue yields impressive $95 million from investors.
My name is Israel Lai, and Joy News Prime is also available across Europe on ABN television as well as on DSTV and GoTV. Stay tuned. All right, we're starting off with some politics. And former Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, has criticized President Mahama and his appointees of running what he describes as a deal-cutting system at the expense of the larger population. Professor Michael Quay also chastised the President and the NDC for collapsing the various social intervention programs introduced by former President John Kufuor during his tenure. Speaking on the campaign trail with Joy News' Latif Idris, the former MP for Dominic Kwabenya constituency said Ghanaians will get to know the rot being supervised by President Mahama at the Flagstaff House when political power changes hands come December 7.
What kind of country is this? It was not so under Kufuor's time, and you all know it. The National Health Insurance business, it worked.
But it's still working, isn't it?
It's not, I mean, it is existing, it's not working. It's existing in the sense that it has not been abolished. You get what I mean? And these are real things that are affecting the lives of people. The government, therefore, is killing them.
It's killing them.
I mean, let us not mince words about some of these things. And if a president is not being responsible enough, we must be told that. Because bus branding when people are dying, you think it's a joke. A confirmed business when people are dying. You go and order two planes for the price of when you could buy three. And when we say that go for value for money audit, you say you won't go. Look, my young friend, if you want to buy a plane and you're a serious human being, do you go to Brazil? Brazil.
Are you saying the president is not a serious human being?
No, look, I'm saying if you were, will you go to Brazil? Who doesn't know? And as for you, you don't just go to Brazil just to compare, but you go to Brazil to do soul sourcing. Hey, so that what? Deals everywhere. A Ghana embassy thing. No wonder the same man gave the president his bribe. Ghana embassy. When people have quoted about half of the amount that was given to that
contractor.
Yes, that same man, they give it to him, and they did it so saucy because the other ones were pocketed. Only for those people to come out later and say, "I bid for so much." There's no bid on record. Why? Why do you do this to us? When women and children are dying at Kolebu on the floor, we are animals, isn't it? No, what these people have done to this country by the management of our affairs is pitiful. But I tell you.
While staying on the campaign trail, Deputy National Organizer of the National Democratic Congress has called on the people of the Upper West region not to be deceived by the lofty policies and programs in the New Patriotic Party's manifesto and rather vote to reject them for looking down on the region. Speaking at the campaign launch of the Minister for Public-Private Partnership, Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpo in Wa, Joshua Hamidou Akamba chided the MPP for failing to appoint a cabinet minister from the region for the 8 years it was in power. Rafiq Salam reports.
Supporters of the National Democratic Congress (NDC) first defied the scorching sun and later the rain to witness the fourth-term bid campaign launch of the Minister for Public-Private Partnership, Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpo. Joshua Hamidou Akamba admonished the people of the Upper West region that they should be the last people to vote for the New Patriotic Party (NPP) because during their 8-year reign, they looked down on the people in the region to the extent that they saw nobody worthy of a cabinet ministerial portfolio.
Under 8 years, Dr. Ramani Mama is doing a whole lot. Is that right? What is their legacy here? What is the legacy of the MPP? Can you say it? The legacy is that they cannot find anybody competent enough from Upper West to become a minister. Number one. And it's so sad that we have our relations who believe in the MPP and still follow the MPP. No true. Oh, sure. Don't be deceived by these people.
Before he climbed the podium to deliver his speech, the clouds have already formed. Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpo, the man they crave and yearn to continue as their MP in the next parliament.
You have seen for yourself that I have done what you have sent me to go and do. The crowd here tells it all. We will only wait for December 7th to go and vote for President Mahama to continue his good work and Rashid Pelpo as our MP.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Now, President John Mahama has begun a 6-day campaign tour of the Volta region to outline his party's vision and promises to the electorate in the region for a renewal of his mandate. On the first day of the tour, he has already commissioned a water facility in a community day senior high school. Let's get on to the phone lines and I speak with correspondent Ivy Setoji, who's following the president. Good evening to you, Ivy. What else can you tell us about the president's itinerary and what he's been up to, apart from commissioning the school?
Well, he commissioned the water project, as he rightly said, and also Kwame Nkrumah. He also commissioned the community SHS there. Now he's currently at the Dambai, but this time he should be on his way back to Karachi. So that is what he has been doing for the days. Tomorrow he continues to Pata in the northern
All right, this is the region that's known to be, quote and unquote, the World Bank of the NDC. What's the response or the feedback he's getting? Because in recent times we've heard stories suggesting that people are not too excited about the NDC in the region.
Well, there are mixed feelings. For some people, they are happy the president is in the region. Once again, a few weeks to the election to be with them, to also commission some projects. But what they are saying is that the president should do more. They want more developmental work in the Volta region, especially the northern part of the region. So to some people, it is a welcoming news for the president to visit the region for a whole week. But to some people, want the president to do more than what he is doing now.
Has the president been giving them any assurances about the development projects that they are seeking?
Yes. The president has been giving them assurances. He said that most of the projects they have embarked on, some of them have been completed, some on maybe 80%, 70% complete. Talking about the aerodrome, NO, according to him, is 80% complete. So he's been assuring them that more developmental work will come to the Volta region. And he's only asking them to vote before the NDC come December so that they can continue with the work they started already. Also, the SHS, the day SHS, and most of the districts members will come to the vote if they are returned in power, because we want to know what they have already started.
All right, thank you very much, Ivy Setoji, our correspondent in the Volta region, who's following the president on his 6-day camping tour of the region. The New Patriotic Party has expressed grave concern about the Electoral Commission's handling of processes for the electronic transmission of the December 7 election results. Acting National Chairman of the party, Freddie Blay, says the Commission has not been transparent with the arrangements despite the major role political parties play in the process.
Well, we were not briefed properly. Indeed, we were not happy. It's one of the issues that we had raised, that all being equal in this modern age, that each transmission of the result should be the order of the day. But it should not be done like as if it's administrative. All stakeholders should be involved from various stages, from the polling station to the constituency level, to the region, and indeed to Accra. It appears that we were not too much involved. According to them, they themselves did their own assessment, and they had people to bid for a contract, and they decided to truncate it. We were not involved at all throughout this, but ordinarily, we think that that should have been the best way of going about it. Instead of, if they are going to do it on their own, how are they going to do it? Who is involved? What will be the processes? What is the integrity of it all? These are some of the questions that, as I talk to you now, may be agitating our minds, and not only ours, but various stakeholders and those who are involved in the elections.
Are you presenting this concern to the Electoral Commission, or are you leaving it at your level so something is done about it?
No, we won't leave anything at various levels to the EC alone. We have IPAC. We've expressed some of such concern. We want them to be addressed. We are still negotiating. We are talking with them. But maybe we will not be satisfied totally. But it doesn't mean that we are not involved. We will do what it is in the best interest of this country. We will make sure that there will be a fair election, and the result will be what Ghanaians want it to be, and not what some other people, officials or non-official parties or non-official, will wish they would like to do or have it done. We will make sure that it's fair.
But speaking earlier with Francis Aban on Joy FM, Director of Communications at the EC, Eric Kofi Jakbasu, explained the Commission will comply with the law in the transmission of results, apart from a little fine-tuning that will be done.
You see, the substance of this one is that we have the laptop, and then we have the Excel format, then we'll get a projector, then we'll also get a large screen. So the results, as they are from the various polling stations and announced at the collation center, will be captured onto the laptop and they're projected. This same method will be replicated at the National Collation Center, where we have laptops projecting the results from the various polling stations and constituency centers. This was used at our by-elections that we've had in 2016. It will be fine-tuned. We are here to do that.
Because the MPP says today that they feel the process is shrouded in secrecy and they want clarity on it, so something else is not done on election day.
If you haven't said all this, one thing we should all bear in mind is that all these processes that we are talking about, of bringing in the project and then projecting the results out for everybody to see, is just to enhance transparency and openness in the transmission process. It is not going to form the basis for the tabulation and then the declaration of the result. What we know, what we have confidence in, and what we are going to use to be the basis for the declaration of the result is what is in law, which all of us, we know.
Watching Joy News Prime, we're taking a break, but still could to come in the bulletin. Hundreds of customers of the now defunct DK Microfinance disappointed over what they describe as the paltry sums paid out to them by the official liquidator and threatening to go to God to get their due. Stay tuned, we'll be back in a bit. Now, the only standing independent candidate in the upcoming elections, Jacob Osei-Abua, says he did everything right in scaling past the nomination turmoil other candidates are currently experiencing. Speaking on the polls, Mr. Osei-Abua says he's now poised and more refined after losing in the 2012 elections. He says change is essential in the life of every Ghanaian, so he will do everything within his power to turn the lives of ordinary Ghanaians around.
Shane is someone who thinks that he or she has come to a point that he must give back to the society that has nurtured him or her.
Give back in what sense?
Give back in anything to make the society a better place than he or she found it to be.
In your own words, if you say that, then I need to ask, in the past 4 years, what have you done to improve the lives of Ghanaians today?
There are a lot of things. I came out with this idea of the fact that, we need to modernize our governance system. And it was something that I muted out, but because I wasn't in power, I was sharing these ideas with the government in place to try and implement it. That is what we call the National Electronic Data Infrastructure. I mean, it was captured in the Daily Graphic, front page series here and there, and other papers as well. It's very important. That is something that we need.
Has it moved from idea to reality yet? Because some will say that if I'm assessing what you've done for me in 4 years, it will not be about the fine ideas on paper. It will be about actions taken.
If I were to be the president, it might have been implemented by middle of 2014, but it never happened. Though it's ongoing, it's been delayed, but I think that this government is just trying to see how best to implement it, but I don't know the time which.
Okay, we'll come back to your big ideas and why Ghanaians in this election with 50 days to go should think of voting for you in this year's elections. But let's talk about the process in even getting your name on the ballot in this year's elections. How has it been for you? Because we've seen some other people very angry and unhappy about how things have gone with the forms that they filed. How about you? How come you got it so smooth and without blemish?
First and foremost, this is my second time. In 2012, the same thing happened. I went through and others were disqualified. And this time round, I also learned my lesson from the 2012 one and built on that experience.
What lessons are those?
In 2012, when I got in there, I had a problem with about 2 of my subscribers. And so the EC told me that, no, these people do not qualify to subscribe for you. And so we had to go back and then make sure that we get.
You were given notice before the deadline?
No, you know that in 2012, it's just within that space of time that you sent it. And so by mid of day up to the end of the day, we managed to get those things done. And then we.
Meanwhile, flag bearer of the All People's Congress, Hassan Yariga, says nobody will win the upcoming elections until the Electoral Commission rescinds its decision of disqualifying him. Speaking earlier in the polls, he said the electorate will have to decide who they want to rule the country. Hassan Yariga, however, expressed disappointment in the Electoral Commission, stating that he will never give up his ambition of becoming president and that he's continuing to campaign.
You remember last Monday when the EC came out to announce that they have sent letters to political parties that were disqualified, and they have notified them that they were disqualified. So she had the privilege to now announce them to the public and to the world. That was not true. No political party got a letter. So far as I'm concerned, I didn't get a letter. The first announcement she did was that Dr. Hassan Yariga of the APC could not fill his form properly. He could not identify his current address and his location. Today I have before me here, this is one of the documents, the 4 nomination forms we sent to the EC. I got one back from them, and I want to open to the whole world to see that if the camera is looking, can point to here, that states current residential address, and we can all see house number 40, Atifiolate Avenue, West Legon. They could not mention, they didn't mention here that I could not fill my forms. and that was an insult to Ghanaians, to lie to Ghanaians about things that were not there. And I think she should apologize to Ghanaians and to myself for lying to Ghanaians that I could not fill a form. We are supposed to be encouraging multi-party democracy. And for that matter, if the AC does not have any database that political parties can go in and key the names of their subscribers to see who are subscribed for somebody, they cannot hold us responsible for someone endorsing another political party and endorse another one. The danger is here, is that if we allow the EC to use my issue to disqualify me, then in the future we'll have all the political parties not contesting any election.
Well, so Asani Yariga told me when he came through the office earlier today that he's threatening to go to court. Well, some others who actually have initiated action, 2 of the 12 were disqualified. And this may compel the country to postpone the general elections due to the number of court actions that have been brought against the Electoral Commission. The latest to do that is the National Democratic Party, whose flag bearer, Nana Konadu Rawlings, was disqualified. And so it has thrown its hat into the ring of lawsuits and sued the commission 2 days after the commission rejected the plea to reinstate its flag bearer. The legal suit is the second of its kind, brought against the commission by 2 of the 12 disqualified political parties. And the NDP is seeking 2 reliefs mainly: to get their candidates, Nana Konadu Rawlings, reinstated, and B, an injunction on the EC's program towards elections until the final determination of the case. Their case is quite similar to what the Progressive People's Party is seeking for its flag bearer, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indom. Well, the Great Consolidated Popular Party is the other party that has also initiated action. So that brings to 3 the number of parties that are taking the EC on over the disqualification of their flag bearer. Right, it's time for business. And Emmanuel Bajuyafe has joined me. He's going to bring us the business news. One of the stories we have had headlined for business has to do with the first dollar-denominated bonds.
Exactly, domestic dollar.
Issued by government.
Sure.
And it turns out that they're offering what? 6%?
6% interest rates. And already government had $95 million.
Okay.
That's quite significant.
So for the locals, they're getting 6% interest.
For the international?
For the internationals, they're getting what?
A little over 10%.
So government goes out there to raise money and is willing to pay as much as 11%?
For the international
For the international market. And for the locals, you're getting 6%.
So maybe you have to work the dynamics.
Okay. Apparently, I can't think far has become a political
like
phrase
that.
now. So
I like that. I
wanted to use I can't think far, but I can't
think far.
You take it away, please.
Thank you very much, Israel. And also thank you for joining me on business. Government has secured a significant interest from local investors in its maiden domestic dollar bond issue. It took almost $95 million from investors who were interested in the 2-year domestic dollar bond. According to a statement issued by the Finance Ministry, government will be paying an interest of 6%. It hopes to use proceeds of the bond to finance the sinking fund and retire some bonds that are maturing. Finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Lord Mensah, earlier on the marketplace, was happy the amount will yield positive results. However, he says the situation could put some pressure on the city, especially with the approach of the elections and the Yuletide.
I'm not surprised that we're able to raise such quantum of money in this country, because we live in a country where people always want a safe haven for their money, and then the safe haven will be possibly looking at foreign currency which they will keep their money in. And looking at the time that we find ourselves in at this time, anybody who is investing would like to invest in a form of foreign currency. And if we should float, a dollar in our own environment, dollar-denominated bond in our own environment, there's a likelihood that you get investors developing an appetite for it. And I think that calls for it. But possibly we could have got, a lower coupon promise. But maybe as a result of the reasons that we gave for the, issue, that's why we had it to be 6%. I was expecting that we get somewhere 4.5% comparatively to other bonds that have been issued on the continent locally. We're getting into Christmas, and Ghana being an import-driven economy, we expect that more cedis will be converted to dollar. And then also we're getting into an election year, which businesses would like to keep their money in a stable currency that can be still stable in a conflict environment, which the dollar is the next option. And then also you've topped it up with the issue. So there's going to be pressure on the cedi. People will be forced to convert their cedi to satisfy the bond that has been issued, and then also to ensure that they convert that is businesses I'm talking about, to convert their cedi that they have to dollars, and then make sure that they get enough to import at the same time. So we should expect pressure on our cedi.
Now, hundreds of affected clients of DKM Microfinance Limited who are expecting to receive all, part, or less than what they invested into the microfinance company left the Ghana Commercial Bank branch in Techiman in the Brong-Ahafo region rather disappointed. The liquidator promised on September 20 at a creditors meeting in Sunyani that about 63,000 creditors whose deposit slips went through a validation process would have their names published by Friday, September 30, 2016, and payment of anticipated claims would begin in the first week of October. Scores of affected clients as early as 3:30 a.m. lined up at the bank's branch hoping to receive their monies as promised by the liquidator, except things did not go the way they expected.
We are going back to the court and fight these matters, chase DKM assets.
Most of the clients, after going through tedious processes, went home disappointed as they were denied their monies. Some of them explained that there were various errors in the forms as compared to the details on the deposit slips they presented. Others, especially the aged, and some who can neither read nor write, and were also unable to recall their dates of birth used during their registration, were also turned away because that is a basic requirement demanded by the liquidator.
I invested 45,000 Ghana cedis, but it has been indicated that I'm supposed to take 3,500.
DKM issue now, nearby amount of invested 40,000. It is kind of 400 million.
I invested 40,000 Ghana cedis, but I just received an amount of 3,500. When I asked about what percentage I was getting, they all said no as a response, so I should take the money. I should have been crying by now because to invest 40,000 cedis and receive 3,500 is an insult.
Amount I invest any amount on Sakano. Send it to saying.
Like, if I say, I'm say, I can, hey, yeah,
Others who received part of their monies came out disappointed because they thought they would receive all of their investments. A client who invested 18,000 Ghana cedis angrily told Joy News the actions of the liquidator is an insult to them after he was paid only 3,500 cedis.
We are going back to the court and fight these matters, chase DKM assets, confiscate them by court order, and then we'll go and sell and pay the rest of our money. Because we cannot take this as our total deposit that is deposited with DKM. That is a cheat.
Information Joy News gathered revealed that only clients who invested less than 3,500 would receive their full investment, whilst those who invested more than that will only receive 3,500 Ghana cedis. The liquidators, however, declined to speak with the media, claiming they are too busy with their work.
October 17 is International Day for the Eradication of Poverty. To commemorate the day, we bring you the story of a young man who is determined to eradicate poverty from his family by using his family inheritance of crop farming and livestock. At a time majority of his peers are dreaming of working in plush offices, he is determined to get to the top of the socio-economic ladder by using agriculture. Joy News' Maxwell Agbagba tells the story of 27-year-old farmer Gideon Paddy, who is determined to wipe out poverty from his family for good.
Meet Kwabena Boateng. He's in his mid-30s and started life as a farmer in the village. He quit and moved to the city. I met Kwabena Boateng on the streets of Kotobabi. He says he's comfortable with life as a construction worker. He says never again would he go back to farming, something he considers tedious and cumbersome.
I came from the morning crew, our side, now the rain is just falling again. So what should I do? So since there is a no, if I came to Accra here, it would be better for me to be staying in village. Because if I Accra here, doing security work and even get 3 million or 2.5 crore, it's better for me to be weeding these 3 months or look at some years. Even my village, they prefer that I should be here than coming to the village because there's nothing there for me. The weeding, I can't weed again.
Agriculture is the mainstay of the Ghanaian economy, but like many other sectors of the economy, it has its own challenges. A cursory glance at the basic school textbook will reveal some of the challenges, from bad roads to post-harvest losses, name them. Today, on the day for the International Day for the Eradication of Poverty, we are here on the streets of Kotobabi to find out from some young people whether agriculture is anything that they would love to venture into. From here, we'll be having interactions with a young Ghanaian farmer, Gideon Paddy, who is braving the odds.
Unlike Kwabena Boateng, Gideon Paddy is in his mid-20s, making a living out of agriculture. He's into cash crop farming and raises livestock to support his farm business at Adeso. At a time where most of his peers only dream of white-collar jobs, Gideon Paddy is determined to turn his family inheritance into gold. Here in the slum of Kotobabi.
So why they go change, oh, they never go change. They never go change, oh, they never go change. They never go change, oh.
Soon, we're in his house close to a huge storm drain. The goats here started bleating upon seeing him. He grabs the key and goes into a small wooden structure on the compound to get some grated cassava. We sat on one of the uncompleted buildings on the compound where he opened up his heart to me.
GSS Kwekudakun. Akukodakun was one of my mentors. He was into poultry. So back then, GSS, I wanted to go into poultry. But here lies the case, my grandparents had goat.
You're talking about Daku Farms.
Daku Farms. Yeah, Daku Farms. Yeah. I wanted to go into poultry, but I didn't know how. So, okay, what do I do now? Back then, I was a graphic designer, and then even the money there wasn't enough for you to be able to be saving to go into agri. So after my grandfather, who was controlling the goods, died. And then when he died, I think nobody was interested in, taking care or turning this into something else. So I saw an opportunity in it. And then I met some few friends. For me, I call agriculture the messiah.
Now you're into crop production, young person in your late 20s. What are some of the challenges of farming?
Number one is funding. Because, we are living in a country where most of our things we do is political affiliated.
A lot of the agric that we do here in Ghana, it's not mechanized. So you go to the villages and then people are using hoes and they're using cutlasses and all of that to, to farm. And that makes the job very tedious and, cumbersome. Some people actually say it repels, young people from going into because it doesn't look attractive. What kind of logistics do you have on your farm?
We use the cutlasses and all those stuff, but we do rent some of the tractors, like tractors to help us plow our land and all those stuff.
You hire them?
Yes, we hire them. It's not lucrative enough. They don't find it very lucrative because they don't have access to all these, how do you call it, these machines and all those stuff, which will make the work very easy.
So why they go change, oh, they never go change.
Up next, we bring you entertainment. All right, so Miss G has been away for, well, she wasn't around last Friday, but she's back.
All right, I'm back and I'm dubbing.
Okay.
Dubbing. Anyway, so it's great to be back. Today is a good day.
It's good to have you back, yeah.
Yeah, Man Crash Monday. I'm crashing on you, Israel. So you're my crash for today.
All the way.
Okay. It's a great day for Shatta Wale as well.
Okay.
It's his birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And people started celebrating Shatta Wale's birthday even before today. Now, from Friday, Saturday, I've seen messages of people wishing him happy birthday.
And he posted something to, what?
Take your time.
Okay.
Eh? So it's his birthday. Shatta himself has been wishing himself happy birthday on social media. But yesterday, this is how he started. If I can see the tweet on the screens now. He tweeted at the president, John Dramani Mahama, and Nana Akufo-Addo. And he says that Nana Akufo-Addo and President Mahama, please, tomorrow is my birthday, so I'm waiting for my Land Cruiser and envelope, please. Then this morning, or I think late last night, he said, Nana Akufo-Addo and JD Mahama, did you please get my message? Thank you. So a lot of people were worried about why he had to tweet that, what he was looking for from them. But this is a man whose song is being used by both political parties. So man for Yeni, you know, you see that thing. But you know, apart from that, something else happened today. Now, apart from the fact that Nana Akufo-Addo tweeted at him saying happy birthday to him, somebody else who we're all surprised about tweeted. Guess who? Take a wild guess.
Stoneboy?
No, the other one.
Samini.
Samini.
Oh, cool.
Samini did tweet at Shatta Wale. Everybody felt it was really cool. And guess what happened? Now, Samini tweeted at him. He tweeted back, followed Samini, and asked Samini to follow back. Yes, all that happened today. So you see the tweet, it says, today I followed at Samini Dagati because I feel it's a happy birthday for me and blah, blah, blah. So hashtag support Ghana music. But this is what Samini posted first. So Samini started, said, happy birthday, hashtag Upanare. Enjoy yourself at Shatta Wale GH. Eve, hashtag Kotoko, no day. Hashtag Hearts, no day. Charlie, laugh out loud. High grade family. So the HGF is high grade family. Says, say love, onu. So hashtag peace times. Hashtag Achi. So then Shatta Wale says at Samini Dagati, thanks bro. Remember, we did this together. No matter what, I got your back for life. SM and high grade family and SM, the best of the best. So they've been having good times. Then he followed. Then Samini followed back. So it's been some good time for, you know, Shatta Wale on his birthday.
So Shatta is a Libra. I mean, he was born in October.
October
exactly. Borns rock indeed.
Really? What about April borns?
Well, yeah, somewhere there. But October.
So happy birthday to Shatta Wale. I hear he's having a party, and we hope to bring some more details from that. His wife, yes, also sent him some, you know, great messages, but these are ones that people have been talking about. So that's Nana Akufo-Addo's message to him on Twitter. Happy birthday at Shatta Wale GH.
Nice left with the envelope.
And Land Cruiser, whoever is sending him those, you know.
But do you know if President Mahama also
No,
tweeted?
I haven't seen any tweets yet from President Mahama. Maybe he gave him a personal call. We are yet to know about all
Or maybe he gave him a Land Cruiser.
Well, you know, Shatta Wale will definitely tell us when he receives that Land Cruiser. Anyway, so once again,
please, you more make we know
what they happen.
Yeah, if your Land Cruiser can be for me.
You for me will see that thing. You know that thing. Anyway, so let's go to another story, and it's Juliet Ibrahim, who is all the way already in South Africa. Over the weekend, she launched her cosmetic line. It's called Shades by Juliet Ibrahim. Now, it's made of lipstick, eyelashes, blah, blah, blah. But here's Juliet this time around talking about politics. She says she doesn't want to have anything to do with politics. You know, she's half Liberian and I think she has some other. She's not Ghanaian. I'm not
think
sure.
she has a Nigerian. Yeah.
She has Nigerian background as well. Yeah. Okay, so she talks about how she experienced civil wars, and because of that, she doesn't want to engage in politics.
A political person. I've experienced 3 civil wars in my life. I was unfortunate. Liberia civil war, Lebanon, and Ivory Coast. I lost family members. I lost friends from war. I witnessed them shooting at my parents in front of me. I nearly saw them rape one of my mom's friends. So as a young girl who went through all of that, I don't involve myself in anything political. I've been approached by so many people to ask me questions or to be a part of something political, but I'm sorry, I won't do it, because all I do during that period is to pray that God will bring peace for the country, and in every citizen's heart, that we make sure that we do what's best for us and our generation to come, so they don't have to go through what I went through as a child.
But as an entertainer, do you agree that other entertainers endorse political parties?
You know, the funny thing is, all over the world, entertainers do that all over the world. It's not a bad thing anywhere, because I think people have the freedom to choose whichever party they want to choose.
That's it for the bulletin. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com, but you can also go to our Facebook page, our social media pages, and get to interact. We have lots of, you can get to see several videos that we have posted, including the I Can't Think Far. But on My Joy Online, December 7 election threatening as CC faces multiple legal battles. My name is Suzelai. You have a good evening.
This is Joy News Prime.